Captain's Log, Adaeeure, Part 5? Probably. It's Part 5. I think I just finished Part 4. But this is the capital vessel that we saw at the end of the last one. I don't exactly know which model it is. It's clearly one of the ones that you can get. I've definitely spawned it in before in my creative world. So it'll be one of the bog standard blueprints from the workshop, from the games workshop, not from the, any content creator, etc. But I suppose good news, bad news of it is I went for a little. I've cleared out most of it. It's it's huge. It's absolutely massive. But I've cleared out most of it. There's still bits of rock sort of lying around here and there, but it's not. It's pretty much open now. I haven't bothered getting all of the resources out of it yet. I was mining down here and stripped some of these blocks off, causing this all had ship in it, but this entire front part of the ship then collapsed because it was all structurally supported by these blocks down here, which then led me to believe that this is probably a base and not a ship. So I put a core down and a generator and all that, and it let me put those down, but then wouldn't let me put a cockpit or an RCS down. So it's clearly coded as a base and not as a capital vessel, which is kind of sad, but also kind of predictable. There might be some kind of mod or console commands that would allow me to change it so that it becomes a capital vessel, but regardless, it's not. It was only if that would have been quite a cool little thing to do in game. Dig a capital vessel out of the sand and salvage it and fly it, and maybe with further updates in the game that'll become a thing. But with that being said, we're now just going to strip it for resources, top to bottom. We're going to take absolutely everything, because once we strip it for resources top to bottom, we will then have everything that we need to make our own capital vessel. So we're going to put a ship together, we're going to travel out of Elyon, and then we're actually going to hopefully make it past that initial stage that I always falter at, and we'll actually go and explore some other planets and maybe start fighting other ships and really, because I don't get into this game as much as this game has content to get into. I scratch the surface with the survival aspect of it, dropping on planets and all that, but there's a large solar system of other planets, there's ships, there's other factions, there's quests to do, there's loads of workshop content that I haven't dabbled with yet. Reforged Eden's obviously the biggest one of them. I believe Reforged Eden's the combination of two very successful mods. There's Reforged, which is something like a complete, it's either a mechanical overhaul or a graphic overhaul or something, but I think it adds more crafting, or a better crafting system, etc. And then Project Eden is a storyline overhaul, I think. Like I say, I haven't really looked into them or played either of them, or played Reforged Eden, but when you look at things on like the subreddits and stuff, it's all Reforged Eden this and Reforged Eden that, so it's clearly the most popular of the workshop content, DLCs, additional content, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, hopefully with this playthrough, we're gonna dive into a bit more in depth. We'll get a little bit further. We'll explore a lot more of the base vanilla game, so that I can then start thinking about, maybe I do want to start downloading some of these workshop mods. Maybe I want to play Reforged Eden, or I know there are some scenario-based servers and worlds that you can get where things like the solar system sort of implodes every week or so. So you've got sort of survive and keep moving. And obviously, as someone who likes the early the early stage survival aspects of these games, that really appeals to me. But I don't know. We'll sort of see. We'll see where it goes from. We'll see what we're gonna do. I haven't really decided yet. I'm just kind of playing and having fun and just recording little updates on this playthrough rather than trying to record it all and make it all into videos, because I think, like, to a certain extent I enjoy doing this, but then after a while it gets a bit like, oh, I just want to play the game. And I start like concentrating too much on, oh, if I'm going to make a video I need to do this, that and the other, as opposed to just play the game and film it, which is what started all of this. So yeah, don't know. I'm just kind of rambling at the moment. I don't really know where I'm sort of going with this. I'm just airing my thoughts, voicing my thoughts. But we've been recording for about 8 minutes now, so I don't know whether much of what I've just said is going to go in, or whether any of it's going to go in, but I think we might time-lapse it, because it's just what we do, isn't it? But I'm thinking I might, just might time-lapse the breaking down the rest of this, because it's not going to be particularly interesting. So yeah, I guess we'll be back in a bit. Just going to quickly whack the recording on. I got back from finishing up that capital vessel, but we're under attack. I woke up and we're under attack, so I thought I haven't yet managed to film a base attack on this playthrough yet, so we'll just show you. I mean, it's 3 drones, it's not going to be particularly taxing. My turrets will probably take it out anyway, but I like to take the ship up just to, you know, a rocket drone will blow up a square or two if it manages to hit its target. So actually that's the drone base. I was looking completely the wrong direction. Where is this attack? There we go. They seem to get caught in this weird little loop sometimes. Like, they'll just sort of spam each other and just circle round. But there we go. Problem solved. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Let's kill these raptors before we drop down to grab these goodies. But yeah, just kind of wanted to record that. I don't even know whether the audio is going to have come out right on this because I didn't even have my headphones on. So yeah, we'll be back whenever I have a further update. Further update. I've just been doing a little lap around Elyon. Just been hitting up these asteroid fields, just grabbing the neodymium, cobalt, promethium, anything. I went round a couple of them more seriously than the other 3 because by that point, I mean, if we have a look in my ore container, we're doing pretty good for neodymium, magnesium, cobalt. We could probably get some more titanium, but it's not super important. But we're going to now head on our way to Kai. And once we get to Kai, we're going to check out the 2 moons, hopefully find a little bit of Zascosium, Aneastrum, and Sathium, because those are now the 3 things that I am running low on. But yeah, just wanted to sort of update on the gathering of resources. It's Kai Moon number 1. First, I want to put my shield up. That's warp drive, not shield. Now we've got neodymium, promethium, gold. Right, that is also another big one that I want to look for. So let's just have a quick. Discovered copper asteroid. Let's hope that's a neodymium asteroid. Might as well grab that while we're right next to it. I want to find that gold asteroid because gold is obviously incredibly valuable. And then we'll drop down onto Kai. We'll see what, or sorry, we'll drop down onto the first Kai moon, see what that has to offer. Braking's a little sloppy there. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's really sort of just at that grind stage now. I just need to grind and grind and grind and get resources together. I'm going to then build myself, as I think I previously said, I'm going to build myself a capital ship. And it's going to be based more or less off the same design as the one from my previous series on Adaeeure. But this time a little bit better. We're not going to sort of slapdash it. It's going to be that sort of general layout, but I'm hoping that it's going to look a little bit better. And be a little bit more mobile and all of these things. But I'm going to do this bit sloppy. I'm not going to tidy this up. I'm sort of coming here, grabbing and then moving on. So I'm not particularly keen on tidying this up. I just sort of want the bulk. Because for neodymium at the moment we're actually doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good for neodymium. But yeah, we'll be back when we find that gold asteroid. Well, there we go, jackpot. That's the gold asteroid that we were looking for. Found a bit more titanium and neodymium on the way. I wasn't going to fly out to this one. I was going to fly off in that direction because we're out of range now, but that neodymium and titanium that I've just come from, there's about 4 asteroids in that direction. But I looked at this one and thought, nah, we'll go and check that one first. And I'm so glad I did, because this is the one. I don't know whether multiple asteroids will spawn of gold, but it's safe to say this is probably going to be the only one. So I'm not going to worry too much about searching for any more after this, but I am going to be slightly more selective with how I mine this out. I'm going to try and get all the little bits, including stuff like that. But now we're going to drop down onto the moon. Well, I say now, after we grab the gold off of this, we're going to drop down onto the moon, just see what the moon has to offer. It's going to be much the same as Adaeure's moon, but equally there might be something sort of unique, so we'll do a little lap. We'll do a little lap and tour. Anything that's worth recording we'll record. If not, we might just skip straight to the next moon, the next system, because aside from just flying about, there's not really a lot to do. And the reason I'm sort of cutting to and from so much with this is because the warp drive is obviously useful for getting to and from systems. I don't know whether it would even... It might be possible to fly normally to and from systems, but it would take you probably days. You'd have to like leave your computer running, and like while you go to work or while you slept or something like that. So the warp drive is obviously necessary for that, but in terms of just getting around a system like this, there's no real sort of quick way to do it. You've just got to fly. So it can take 5-10 minutes flying from asteroid to asteroid, and it's just not particularly interesting. So there's not really, and I don't really want to be cutting to and from, going like, here's this asteroid that I found, 30 seconds. Because I've not got that much to say on the matter, it's just I'm mining resources, that's all I'm doing. I've not got any particular insight, I've not got any current social commentary to be engaging with, it's just a bit... To be honest with you, this is the boring side of the game. This is the part of the game where I enjoy it if I have an objective, and obviously my objective is I want to build my capital ship, so that's why I'm doing this, but this is where I start to lose interest with my playthroughs, because I'm like, well, I'm grinding for no particular reason. I'm just grinding for the sake of grinding, and then I start to think, oh, if I'm going to grind, I might as well grind from the very beginning, because I enjoy that bit more, that initial survival aspect. So yeah, I'm just for the rest of this video, most likely is just going to be short little snippets of this is what we've got, this is what we've got, and now we're back at home. Now's probably a good time to include the time-lapse of me grabbing other resources, so we're going to cut to that now, I guess. But yeah, that was just me time-lapsing a little bit earlier on, grabbing just the basic resources from one of the asteroid fields. As you can see there, it's kind of boring. There's a lot of just flying about doing nothing. I didn't even get attacked once. There were no drones. There was no dreadnoughts I had to run from. Quite uneventful, if I'm going to say. As space travel goes, it was a relatively. I've not been attacked by much in this entire run. Usually there's a couple of drones, yeah, but usually you take out a couple of drones, you get a bigger ship take interest in you, and it starts to lock on from elsewhere. But just got nada. Let's get a little bit of oxygen. Let's find that moon. And just breathe that in, I guess. You know, obviously I love the space travel in this game, otherwise I wouldn't be playing it, but you know, there are pros and cons, and it can't all be. That's what makes the exciting parts of this game more exciting for me, is the fact that it's not, you know, this isn't Call of Duty when you're just running through shooting people 24/7, you know, regenning your health and being like a super soldier. There's certain aspects to this game that are kind of grindy, and are kind of long, and are kind of peak, but I think it makes the whole game more enjoyable, personally speaking. That's why I understand that, you know, not everyone's going to enjoy stuff like this. But as I've also said multiple times, if you're in a crew, if you've got a group of people aiming for an objective, you can split the workload up. So whereas I've got to gather all of the resources for everything that I need to build here, if I was playing with other people, it could be like, right, well, someone work on the farm, someone go and get, you know, this, someone build a whole vessel and take down the bases, someone go and scrap this, and it, you know, ultimately everything will just take a, you know, everything will just be quicker. But I digress. I haven't even had a look at what resources are available. We've got Pentaxid there, and that thing's shooting at me. Don't really think I'm going to be able to fight that. The shield's tanking a lot of it, but also I don't particularly want to get stuck on this moon, so we're going to just run away from that. Can't please be this one. So it turns out there are 2 ice asteroids. So if it's not this one, it's the last one. And it will be the last one now because I got lucky with that gold one. But I think we're going to round that off now. That's going to be the end of this. Is probably going to be, oh, there's 2 more? Damn it. Let's hope it's this one. I don't think it will be. But let's hope it's this one. But yeah, it's probably been quite a long one. Probably been quite an unproductive one. I've just sort of fannied about and done nothing at all. So yeah, next time we will come on. Iron, god damn it, right. It's got to be you. But yeah, we'll find us a restaurant and then we'll take it all back to base and then we'll see what we can do in terms of putting a capital vessel together. But that's pretty much our system done and dusted. So until then, peace.